Graham Nash asked, "Who are you when the lights go down? Who are you when you're not that famous person on stage? Are you a good person, or are you a..." a-hole? That's what Graham Nash asked of David Crosby. Hey guys, welcome to Rock Hard Riffs. This is the Guitar Champ for the Self-Taught. In today's video, we're talking about the documentary David Crosby, Remember My Name. The Strange Case of David Crosby is how I would I would summarize it. Now, well, David Crosby was originally in the Byrds. He joined in 1964. Later kicked out in 1967 after the Monterey Pop Festival, where he joined Buffalo Springfield and just started going on some type of political diatribe. And it was kind of a paranoid rant that he went on. And out of the Byrds he went. They asked him to go. And then later in 1968, he, Graham Nash, and Stephen Stills formed Crosby, Stills, and Nash in the Laurel Canyon area of Los Angeles. You know the song Our House? It was written about that house where they had formed together. Pretty interesting, and they show the house in the documentary. Let's go into a little more depth and look at some photos. You know, when I originally heard Graham Nash asking those questions, like, who are you after the lights go down and you're not a famous person? Are you a decent person, or are you an a-hole? At that time, Graham Nash was putting out a book, and I thought he was just kind of, you know, using Crosby because he'd be an easy punching bag because of all of his drug problems. But no, actually, he actually kind of felt that way about him, and not only Graham Nash, but just about everybody that knew him, except for his wife. So he's had a lot of problems with people. Now, he was born David Van Cortlandt Crosby, August 14th, 1941, in Los Angeles, California. He was born to Floyd Crosby, who was a very well-known cinematographer. I believe he also won the Academy Award. So in the documentary, they show a lot about life in Laurel Canyon. If you're familiar with the movie Wonderland, that is in Laurel Canyon. This is the area where they were. Now, in their early career in the Byrds, but they just did some great stuff. 8 Miles High. They also helped Bob Dylan get his first #1 hit with their version of Tambourine Man. Great stuff, just great music. David Crosby wrote the song Almost Cut My Hair, which was the very reason why I grew my hair. Back in the starting in the 70s, I started growing my hair out because of that song. It just kind of inspired me. It's like, let your freak flag fly. And you know how it is when you're in your teens and 20s, you're kind of a pissed off young man. And that's how we expressed it to a certain degree, to how to rebel, right? So again, David joined the Byrds in 1964. He was kicked out in 1967. They formed Crosby, Stills, and Nash in 1968. Later on, Neil Young joined, and they wrote such songs as Ohio and just so many great stuff. Let's just talk about some of the songs that Crosby, Stills, and Nash wrote. Just so many great songs. Woodstock, Ohio, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Long Time Gone, Just a Song Before I Go, Southern Cross, Marrakesh Express, one of my favorites, Shadow Captain, Our House, Guinevere, Teach Your Children, Wooden Ships, Wasted on the Way, Carry On. I mean, these guys were just, they were actually kind of one of the first early supergroups, kind of like Cream was. And they were just really a great, great band. But of course, David Crosby just gave them nothing but trouble. So love him or hate him, you know, David Crosby helped write, in my opinion, some of the great, great songs of the late 60s and through the 70s. It's just, I guess, his attitude, and of course, when you take that and combine that with just horrendous drug and alcohol abuse, you know, he was a heroin addict and a coke addict at the same time, and of course, drinking like a fish. It just, you know, it just destroyed his liver. He just wasn't one of the nice guys. He's still alive. He performs with his son and stuff. I'm speaking about at the time. He just was not really known as one of the nice guys or good guys of rock and roll. And it shows definitely in this documentary. That's unfortunate because he really helped write some really, really great music, in my opinion. And I'm a big fan of CSN, CSNY, and the Byrds. Buffalo, Springfield. I love all that. You know, I'm a huge Neil Young fan. I don't know about you. Maybe it's just a generation thing, I don't know. But of course, this stuff was before my time. I was really, really young when this stuff was going on. So, you know, I remember vaguely through things on television and stuff. But of course, later on, I came to know the story much better. So, alright guys, thanks for joining us. If you have the chance, check this documentary. It's been on cable television. And it was directed by Cameron Crowe. So, really good documentary. David Crosby, Remember My Name. In parentheses, The Strange Case of David Crosby. That's how I'd word it. Alright guys, thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you look in our playlists for more videos like this. It'll be under Beatle Fun and other stuff. And also through our other playlists for guitar lessons and all that sort of thing. Alright guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next video.